leading up to Olympia was a very exciting time for me. I was starting at that point to get a little bit nervous, but a good nervous. It was like I was anxious, I was excited to get back on stage. I was feeling the love and support from everyone, which was also a really awesome and amazing feeling. And it's kind of like at some point you have to like tune out what other people's expectations of you are and just kind of focus on yourself, because I do what I can, and I always tell everybody I put in the hard work, I've done what I can do, but at the end of the day it's not up to me. I do not decide who wins, and this sport is a subjective sport, so you know, it's really hard to tell how things will play out. With that being said, having the support from fans and my friends and family, it made it more exciting, it made it more meaningful. It got me like pumped up. I wouldn't say it gave me a large amount of pressure. It was more of like, we support you and we're excited just like you are to step on stage. So that was like extra motivation to get me through the last week. Once we arrived at the Orleans Arena, it was super exciting. It was like just yesterday that I competed there before. And the smell of it brought back memories. The atmosphere, you could see like a few competitors walk around. It was just a super exciting time. And not to mention that it gave me chills too when I was walking around in there. I got like goosebumps, like this is real, it's about to happen, I'm about to step on stage soon. The day before the Olympia was the busiest day for me. I was, to be quite honest, a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit stressed the day before. I just had so many commitments and so many obligations. I had to first work out, I had to prep for my tan, I had to get my hair done, I had to go to the first athletes meeting, I had to get my other tan, and then I had to meet the athletes event, which was, whoa, that was an event in itself. That was unexpectedly chaotic, but in a good way. I don't regret that at all. It was so cool to meet everyone, but it's just like I was always on my feet and I didn't have a chance to sit. I was constantly taking pictures, and I had like a line too, so that was kind of cool that many people wanted to come see me. I was very flattered. But all in all, I think I sat down probably like 15 or 20 minutes to myself just to relax, and that's the only time I even had to relax the night before. And yeah, it was a long day, but a very fun day. Very busy, and you know, that's how it is. You gotta expect it. I got so much positivity from the fans that came up to visit me. I was deeply flattered. Like I said, I'm very flattered that somebody would actually wait in line to see me. And it was a really cool experience to have, you know, that extra motivation again before I step on stage. And you know, people tell me of how, you know, I've inspired them, and that makes me feel really good. And I must say the craziest part though is I found out somebody literally got a tattoo of me on their arm. Somebody I don't even know. And he showed me it. I was like, what? That was the craziest thing, and I never thought that was gonna happen. But it was just kind of like a cool experience, like wow, I'm tattooed on someone's arm, that's crazy. But it was pretty fun. So the morning of the show, I have, you know, the biggest concerns are my makeup, my hair, my tan, and you know, getting my posing down. You gotta balance your anxiousness with excitement and nervousness on stage. I always say turn your nervousness into excitement, because you want to be excited. You want them to see that you're happy and wanting to be there on stage, but at the same time you don't want to look shaky or nervous or distracted. But I just remember the day of the show, I was practicing a lot, my routine, trying to get my hair and makeup to just the perfect way I like it, on the tan, everything. It was a very early morning. It always is. Anytime I compete, I wake up at like 4 and just kind of start doing the hair, doing the makeup, get the tan, put the suit on, all that. So a lot goes into it. All the competitors that are competing that day, we were combined with the figure and fitness competitors too. So we were all kind of backstage getting ready. And it's funny because you can see how some people like operate the day of the show. You have some girls that are off to the side like dancing in a group. You have another girl sitting down eating. Some girls are doing their hair last minute. And me, I'm just kind of like chilling out by myself with earphones. I don't really talk to a lot of people the day of the show as far as the competitors are concerned. I hope I don't come across as like, you know, mean or anything. I just like trying to focus on myself, running that routine through my head, and you know, just kind of thinking about what I have to do. Whenever they called my name on stage to do my presentation, it's like I got this adrenaline rush, and when you're on stage, it just seems like it just flashes like that. It happens so fast, and you're just like, you just lose time. It's like, where did the time go? It's like you step on stage, you step right off. But it is so exciting. And then when you step off of the stage to turn around to get into your comparisons, it's like, wow, what a rush. I just did that. And then when you step off, you're like, I want to do it again, because it's such a great feeling. When I got called in the first call out, I was very excited. You know, it was just kind of like a relief, like, woo, okay, I'm in the first call out. That's awesome. So, you know, it's a great, I mean, anytime you can get in the first call out is great, but whenever there's so many girls and it's such a prestigious show, it's like, wow, yeah, I'm up there. That's kind of cool. So anytime in a show, if I get like placed to the outer, honestly, I don't think much of it, because I can tell you so many examples of when a similar situation like that had happened, yet I still won. But whenever I didn't get called to go back to the line first, and they kept me for the second call out, then I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna be top 3. But, you know, I wasn't disappointed, I wasn't sad, and a lot of people were under the impression that I would be very disappointed in myself, but I totally wasn't. And I was literally happy just to be back on stage and to look better than I ever have. It's a great feeling, and honestly, I've exceeded so many of my expectations this year, and that is just one of them, just to come back. So I wasn't disappointed at all. I tried to replay the events of what happened on stage in my mind. I was honestly like thrilled, because I was like, wow, my presentation was very smooth in my mind. It was very smooth, and in the past, I'm not really known to have the most smooth performance. So to have, like, in my opinion, my best presentation yet, it was like smooth. I hit everything. I was gliding in a way. I was, you know, everything just lined up, and I wasn't dissatisfied with my presentation at all, or the comparisons. But what I do want to know is, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check my social media and see like what people are tagging me in, so that I can see my own like comparisons, so I can see like what I looked compared to the other girls, if there's anything I can do to fix it before finals. But yeah, I always look back at my photos and my videos to see if I can improve on anything, and also talk to my coach as well. After I stepped off stage, I went right back to the hotel to take a shower and just relax for a minute. A little bit later on, I went to a buffet to have some food with my coach, and also Nedim and my friend Anya. And I didn't have anything crazy, but my coach wanted me to fill out a little bit more, so I had a few carbs. But I tried to get to bed early that night as well, because I just, you know, it's very exhausting waking up so early and going through the whole experience. But as far as staying motivated, I never really lost the motivation for finals. And if anything, I just kind of studied and researched what I can do better, if anything, for finals. So when I did get announced that I was in the top 10, I was definitely relieved. I was like, okay, cool, top 10, whew. It's always nice to have that little reassurance, and pretty cool that I get to present again as well. So my thought when I was top 6 in the call out was, you know what? Maybe I can move up a place or 2 from what they had me at in prejudging, and I'm gonna try my darndest, you know, you better believe it. I'm gonna fix every flaw that I might have had and just try to do my absolute best to kind of make a good impression on the judges for finals. I was happy, honestly. I was like, when I heard that they were only going to announce the top 5, and at that point I was like, okay, I just want to get called. That would be pretty cool if I did. If not, you know, whatever. It was still a good run. But I was pretty happy about my placement, and regardless of what people might think, I felt I was a happy camper, because if anybody knew my story from this entire year and how hard it was for me to get back to the shape I used to be in, knows I put in so much work, and I'm a very realistic thinker. That is one thing about me. I set very realistic goals. So, you know, just to even be back was an amazing feeling in itself, and I did it. When I took 5th at the Olympia, you know, there's still things I can see that I can improve on a little bit. You know, that might take a little more time. So that's why I was like, I would love to come back next year, do it all over again, and see what else I can improve on. Maybe move up some placements, who knows. But even if I don't, I love the feeling of constantly improving. And I will say, out of everything this year, what I'm most proud of is like my glute improvement. As silly as it sounds, like, you know, they've come a long way even from my first show, and I've worked so hard on it. So even if it wasn't the ideal of what they wanted that day, I was pretty darn proud of myself. I was like, wow. So my goals going into next year are just in general improvement on my physique. You know, it makes me happy when I can improve a body part or my presentation or whatever it may be. I do want to compete in more shows for sure. I might have the highest number of IFBB Pro Bikini wins, and I would want to make sure that stays for a while. I think I do, I might. You should probably actually research it. I have won 17 shows, so I would love to kind of keep that going and add on to it, because I want to be a freaking legend. Hi, my name is Ashely Kaltwasser, and this is my journey to the Olympia stage. And I hope that it also inspires you to make your own journey in whatever it is.